What's up guys, my name is Mars, welcome back to another video. Today here back for my F1 2019 career mode episode 15, and today is the Italian Grand Prix. If you guys haven't watched the previous episode, I highly recommend to go check it out. The link is going to be on the description, but today we're going to focus on the Italian Grand Prix. But first we have a little bit of an invitational event. For quite a while that I didn't drive the classic cars in my F1 2019 career mode, so if you're not familiarized with this series, basically sometimes I drive the classic cars just to gain a little bit of reputation, just relax a little bit, you know, before when the real action starts. And yeah, we are driving the Lotus of Emerson Fittipaldi around the Catalonia circuit, and as you can see, having a little bit of a moment there that was a little bit stressful, but yeah, this car is very enjoyable to ride, a little bit tail happy, you know. As you can see by what I had, a little bit of a save. It was spectacular, but yeah, it's okay. It's just I'm here just to have a little bit of fun. But as you can see, during this invitational event, from some random reason, I goes through the car. So yeah, I don't know, maybe that's a glitch, but yeah, this car is very beautiful. Maybe I have to do something in the you know, in the championships. Drive this car in the championships, and we beat Sergio Perez, that is our rival for now, him and Lucas Weber. But we are back into the office, to the real action, like I said, and things are starting well because we have an upgrade ready for this weekend that is going to be for the tire wear, that is on the chassis side of things, and no rain expected, so that's good. And maybe we're going to have a new regulation, so we maybe going to have a regulation change for the power unit side of things. Carl sent us an email saying that probably is going to happen, so maybe we are going to start a phase that we have to save some resource points to adapt the parts of the engine. So in the performance shaft, Red Bull is not anymore the fastest car. Is Mercedes now on top once again, but not that far, and we remain still best of the rest. But things in the midfield are very, very close, and Williams is not anymore the slowest car, is the third slowest car. So Williams making good progress. Look where Williams was at the start of the season in Melbourne, and look where they are now. Absolutely kudos to him, because that's really an impressive progress. So yeah, with things done, let's go down to qualifying and let's see. Remember, this is my team's home Grand Prix, so we have to make sure that we make a good race. So further ado, let's go to qualifying and let's see what we can do in one lap pace.
Practice is all wrapped up as we move into qualifying here at the Autodromo di Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. Any moment now, the teams will be heading out onto the track. When it comes to getting lap time out of this circuit, it's traditionally been about maximising top speed. Do you simply remove as much downforce as possible, hang on in the corners and max out down the straights?
Top speed is a key factor for this circuit. Even if you can achieve the same lap time as someone running less wing than you, chances are you'll find overtaking difficult if you have too much drag.
And here we are on qualifying. Let's see what we can do. The tempo of speed, Monza, but in terms of engine, we are not the best. But let's see if we can score some good points this weekend. But heading to the last corner, the Parabolica, and yeah, the car showed really pacy despite the straight line speed deficit comparing to the other teams. And we go to cross the line. This is a 122.1, and we are through very comfortably. It's just a formality, Q1, you know. I think is not much of a stress. Maybe a little bit for my teammate Lucas Weber that is in P14, but yeah, he's through, and that's what matters. Let's see if we can get both Toro Rossos into Q3. That would be the ideal. But as you can see, beginning of the Q2, yeah, this corner, the first chicane, I don't know if he has a name. I'm not entirely sure. It's very important because if you fail that. You know, that braking zone, basically your lap is screwed, 50% of your lap is screwed, so you have to make sure that you absolutely nail that corner, that braking zone, and we did so, and through a Scari as well. In the Scari, I'm a little bit uncomfortable in the second phase, but in a nutshell, the car felt really nimbly on the downforce section, and we gone faster than Verstappen on key 2, and that is going to be enough to get us into key 3, and my teammate Lucas Weber is into key 3 as well, and Sergio Perez as well. So yeah, feeling good, but as you can see on the third lap, we are already through the Curva Grande. I believe this is Curva Grande, and this is my first lap into key 3. So we are heading to the variant del Roger, attacking very aggressively. We lost a little bit the back end, as you can see. We received the warning, so we have to improve. So, but we're going to carry on this lap. So pushing very hard through the first Lesmo, and we're going to hit the grass. We hit the wall, and we're out of qualifying. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, my first crash on my F1 2019 career mode in the qualifying section, and then unfortunately we are out of Q3 because we crashed at the exit of Lesmo 1. Totally my fault. I stepped the grass, and yeah, I was really pushing, as you can see, a little bit to tie off to the grass, and that was absolutely game over. Oversteer, hit the wall, lost the tire. And yeah, that's unfortunately the qualifying for us comes to an end, and we're going to start in P10. Oh god. Yeah, especially when it's our team's home Grand Prix and the car felt really pacey. That's very frustrating for me. I'm a little bit broken because we have a rivalry to win. Beat our teammate, beat Sergio Perez. That racing point is very pacey on the straight line, so... And Jesus, what is Bottas doing in P9, as you can see, very off to the pace, so yeah, he's not the only one that isn't happy, but yeah, let's see if we can make some good progress in the race. I'm a little bit very disappointed, of course, but let's see if we can do something different and better on Sunday. It's time for the race.
It's race day here in Italy once again. Monza, home to so many records. The smallest winning margin, for example. Do you remember in 1971, Peter Gethin beat Ronnie Peterson to the line by 1/100th of a second. There were 40 overtakes for the lead alone in 1965, and Kimi Räikkönen clocked a record top speed of 230 miles per hour here, just over a decade ago. So there's a lot to live up to then for all of our drivers today. We're 12 miles northeast of Milan for today's Grand Prix at a Monza circuit where we can expect top speeds of around 215 miles per hour. 11 corners on this 3.6 mile track, with 7 of those coming in the form of chicanes. And with a good slipstream and DRS open, there should be plenty of opportunity for some passing here today. Anthony Davidson, a very warm welcome to you as you join me in the commentary box for today's event. Let's begin by discussing Daniel Ricciardo. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time to time throughout their career. You just have to suck up the pain and get on with the job at hand. Today isn't about performing a miracle to put the car back where it should be. It's about effective damage limitation.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, Pierre Gasly and Perez, Weber, Hülkenberg, Bottas and Thomas, Stroll, Grosjean, Kevin Magnussen and Butler, Russell, Raikkonen, Daniel Kvyat and Robert Kubica. Norris and Daniel Ricciardo fills the last spot on the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
And here we are already sitting on our cockpit, starting in P10 after that Q3 crash. It was a huge stunt, let me say, but welcome guys to the Italian Grand Prix, and strategy-wise it's going to be a simple one-stop, starting on the softs, and then we're going to cross the line on the mediums, hopefully. So that's the strategy for the race, and let's see if we can finish on the points, because once the DRS gets enabled, it's going to be very hard to defend, especially with on the engine. 5 red lights for the Italian Grand Prix. Can we get a double Toro Rosso points finish in their home Grand Prix? And it's 5 red lights, and away we go. And unfortunately, it was an absolutely terrible start. This is before the patch where the AI improve their stats, but let's see what we can do. Heading to turn 1, up of inside of one of the Hasses and the racing point of Lance Stroll, and we're going to try all round the outside of the racing point of the Canadian, but our exit wasn't the best, and we are demoted into P11. Not the best start, but let's see what we can do. Kevin Magnussen on our gearbox, so we have to bear in mind with that, and let's see if we can get this position back. Heavy braking into the Variante della Roccia. The last time that we gone through there, we had tons of oversteer, but this time we didn't have, and now it's just built a little bit of confidence, not making silly mistakes, and the Bottas already is trying to slice him through the field and trying to make a move on my teammate, but he doesn't so. But we made a stupid mistake, as you can see, stepping the grass on the braking zone, and now we are very vulnerable to Kevin Magnussen in the beginning of lap 2. So the Haas is mega quick with that Ferrari engine, so I'm expecting a lot of defensive job, despite the pace being really good, with the straight line speed, with the slipstream, with the DRS. DRS with these cars that have a much better engine than mine. I think we're going to have a difficult race for us in terms of defending and overtaking. So trying to go run outside of Bottas, it was going very slow. I think he lost a lot of momentum with my teammate, and he's still there. So Bottas struggling a little bit in the early stages to slice through the field, but I think once the DRS gets enabled, I think he's going to make the moves pretty easy with the DRS and slipstream, especially when the slipstream is so much powerful in this game. So we are in the slipstream of Hulkenberg and Lucas Weber. Bottas made the move on the Renault and on my teammate, and we're going to try something on the inside of Nico Hulkenberg, moving a little bit under braking, and we're going to do so on our teammate as well, and Bottas locks up, so it's absolutely chaos, a little bit of chaos into turn 1, but we made a double overtake on our teammate and Nico Hulkenberg, and that was a fantastic move. A little bit risky, yes, but needs must. We have to make these moves, and for now, I think we are best of the rest. No, we are not, because Sergio Perez is ahead of us, but finally things are starting to go on our way. I'm feeling the pace, I'm feeling the confidence once again, and now he's just trying to finish in P8. I think Sergio Perez basically in a league of his own during this weekend. Despite on qualifying we matched the racing points, so but I think in terms of race pace, I think Perez is going to start to waltz away, and I think we not going to catch him, not going to challenge him, sorry, this race. But hopefully on Singapore, where downforce is the strong point of the circuit, we can have a word to say against Perez. But as you can see, our teammate starting to put some pressure on us. He's going up of inside for Lesmo, so because Weber really wants P8, and this is going to be a battle between the Toro Rossos. No team orders, because that's a video game. There's no team orders. That's a beauty. Jesus, I can't English right now. Beauty of the video game. And there he goes, Trico running outside. Look at the speed. Oh, we banged tires actually. So yeah, I gotta admit, when I was playing, I was a little bit distracted, and yeah, Weber got that position, and he promoted to P8, and we had a terrible exit through Ascari, and now we are vulnerable to Nico Hulkenberg and of Kevin Magnus, I believe. We were almost in a century from that TV cam perspective, but now we're going to have DRS, and we maybe can pass once again Lucas Weber. So we are running out of ERS, so we have to bear in mind with that. I'm struggling a little bit on DRS saving, especially in the power track, and our engine is not the best, but there goes Kevin Magnussen on the inside. We shut the door only just, and we're going to try to go round the outside of Lucas Weber. He locks up a little bit. We're going to squeeze so aggressively that he's going to lose some positions, I believe. Yes, he's going, and yeah, that was a little bit frosty, because yeah, pushing that teammate, forcing a little bit off to the track, but he locked up, so I saw the movement. Yeah, I couldn't keep the car, stop the car just in time, and unfortunately he touched a little bit the gravel trap, I believe. So we're watching his POV, we are watching the replays, and yeah, he touched a little bit the gravel trap, and he actually touched with Kevin Magnussen. So yeah, it was my fault. Yes, maybe I was too opportunistic. Maybe I should give a little bit of space. As you can see, I should stop the car and turn a little bit more, but yeah, that's totally my fault, I believe. So let me know on the comments, guys, what your thoughts about this, but I believe that's my fault. I should have stopped. I should be a little bit more kind to my teammate, you know. So but he's back on lap 6, so he overtook Hulkenberg and Magnussen, and now we have some yellow flags, so he's on parabolic, and now a virtual safety car, and that's Sergio Perez and Sebastian Vettel. So I don't know what happened, and now Lucas Weber, our teammate, overtook us under the virtual safety car, and I don't know if that's legal, if he got a penalty. He's not just ahead of me, he's ahead of Sergio Perez. So this is where it all started. So before Ascari, heading to Ascari, sorry, so Verstappen on the inside of Vettel, they're going to lose momentum, and this is going to allow to Sergio Perez to catch them. And now he's on the slipstream, and Vettel is in the slipstream of Verstappen. So let's see, Sergio Perez trying something on Vettel, but the door is not there, the space is not there. So Vettel goes up of inside of Verstappen, locks up, and oh, okay, Vettel spinning even in the game, that's very realistic, but yeah, he tried it on the inside into the parabolic, and he locked up inside tire, and then yeah, he spun out, and that's not a very smart move. He could wait for the straight, and I don't know why he sent on the inside of parabolic. He could just wait to get the DRS. I think it was a bit silly, but we're going to carry on, and now we're being pressurized by Nico Hulkenberg on lap 7, so virtual safety car is already over, and we have some work to do if we want to overtake Lucas Weber, that was already overtaken by Sergio Sergio Perez. So just to see, Perez is in a league of his own, and he's going to carry on in this Grand Prix, and we're going to do so. And as you can see, Nico Hülkenberg overtook us, but that's not much to worry, because now we're going to have DRS heading to the straight. So overtake mode, Rich Mix on the Renault. We're going to pass him very easily, and let me say, we were struggling a little bit in terms of a straight line speed on qualifying, but in the race it seems that the slipstream is so powerful. As Lance Stroll started trying something on us, the slipstream is so powerful on this game that I'm able to make the moves with the DRS open pretty easy, despite not having the best engine. Our engine, I think, is the worst of the grid, I think, because it's a Honda. I think in terms of engine we're not doing much work, but we have to focus on that in the next couple of races maybe. So we're going to pit on lap 10, and we're going to say goodbye to these soft tires and say hello and dress a brand new set of medium tires, and we go till the end of Grand Prix on those tires, so on the yellow stripe tires. So pretty simple strategy, one stop, not much to worry. And let's see if we can get the undercut on our teammate Lucas Weber. So we're going to push like hell in this lap and see if we can overtake our teammate Sergio Perez. I don't think so, because like I said a few moments ago, he's in a league of his own. That racing point, thanks to the Mercedes engine, is very slippery on the straight line, so we have to wait for the next rounds. They're going to be like Singapore or Japan, for example, that downforce a strong point. This is Lucas Weber, and we get the undercut done, ladies and gentlemen, and we are into P7. Very easy overtake. Just get a little bit of slipstream while he was getting out of the pits, being a little bit frosty to our teammate, just to say, yeah, I'm faster than you, despite being already frosty a few laps ago. But we're going to carry on, and there he is. We're going non-DRS because we're going to let him go and get DRS on the straight. So playing smart games here, because I think by doing this we can be faster. So yeah, some tactics playing here, and now we're getting DRS, and we're going to overtake our teammate on the inside, giving us a little bit of a squeeze. And we're going to leave the room, be a little bit patient, and there you go, we are back into P7, a little bit held up. So yeah, our teammate not giving us a simple task, and that is not allowing us to pull away. In my case, I pulled away, and this is Nico Hülkenberg. Oh, that was very close to Kimi Raikkonen, and yeah, almost smashed the back of the Alfa Romeo. So, and the Renault almost losing the fronting. But this is Sebastian Vettel. This man is on a charge and overtakes his former teammate on Ferrari, Kimi Raikkonen, pretty easily. So this is in the closing stages. We managed to pull away of Weber, and now we are watching the battle of Vettel and Nico Hülkenberg. This man has been slicing through the field of the course of the Grand Prix after that silly mistake, and around the outside he goes of Nico Hülkenberg. But Hülkenberg is actually giving a nice resistance to the Ferrari, so that's pretty interesting to see. But now it's going to be a drag race, and Vettel is going to have DRS, I believe, or Nico Hülkenberg, because he's going faster. So Vettel not waiting for the start-finish straight, so he's not being very smart in this race. But let's see, Vettel now on the chicane. Now he has the inside line. He's going to try to squeeze, but actually Nico Hülkenberg managed to get the traction a little bit, but then he lost the momentum, and that Ferrari power comes to play and gets ahead of the German. So that was quite impressive, because seeing this battle between these two guys, because Nico Hülkenberg managed to keep it with the Ferrari. So this shows that the grid is getting more and more closer, and down on his side he goes of our teammate Sebastian Vettel, and that was pretty much it. We managed to keep the gap over the Ferrari, and we're going to cross the line and finish P7 after that crash on Q3. So very happy with the progress that we made. A little bit aggressive, but yeah, I totally accept that was my fault, but nonetheless it's a very good result, a double point finish for Toro Rosso in their home Grand Prix.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Yes, another historic win under their belts. Well done to the team at Mercedes. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on the track was today: speed. I know it sounds like an obvious thing to say, Crofty, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
here are the confirmation results, guys, from P10 to P7. A nice charge, like I said, through the field. Only gained 3 places, but considering that we had that crash, lost a lot of confidence, especially in the second sector. After qualifying, I couldn't ask for much more, and our results was 6 points and 2 points, so collecting 8 points, and we are still best of the rest in the championship standing. We consolidate our lead over Sergio Perez that actually overtook Lucas Weber, so we consolidate our lead over these two guys, and in the constructors we are best of the rest, so everything going very well for us. 10 points ahead of Racing Point that overtook Alfa Romeo, so not a very good weekend for Alfa Romeo in their home Grand Prix. It was for me, Ferrari and Alfa Romeo. Not me and Toro Rosso, we are a team, it's not just me. And with that we conclude the episode 15 of my F1 career mode, guys. So if you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe channel if you need to see plenty more Formula 1 content. Unfortunately we didn't get the extra 600 resource points, but we're going to buy a major upgrade for the chassis side of things. And I think from this on, I think I'm going to seize the development. I'm not entirely sure, because we're going to some tracks there we need some downforce, despite it being very good, the Toro Rosso on the downforce side of things. But I think I'm going to do like more 2 or 3 upgrades, and then I'm going to stop the development and thinking in the engine side of things, because probably we're going to get some rule changes for the power units. So yeah, playing a little bit smart, we're going to seize our development. Maybe some teams are going to overtake us, or maybe going plateau, but I think that they're going to seize development as well. But guys, that was episode 15. Next episode is going to be Singapore. We put a bit 1 MGUK for in the car, because the straight line speed is not going to be much of a factor in the next episode that is going to be around Marina Bay. So this is the phase of the season that some grid penalties are going to come to play. So we're going to take some penalties, but Singapore is not the best place to overtake, so probably we're going to do around Sochi. But now the video is going to end here, guys, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys for a brand new video next time. My name's Tom, but for now, it's goodbye.